picture is showing, but I guess it should be clear by now. Hello. Can you guys?
Yeah, what's going on, man?
Hi, mentor.
Hello. I was scared. I thought maybe my voice wasn't coming through.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a long while.
It's been hectic. But you know, first thing come first. No matter what happened, at least nothing can cancel our one-on-one sessions. We must.
That's right.
Oh, sir.
Getting busy making all the money. Huh?
I'm telling you, you know,
that's good.
It becomes a time where you need to prioritize. If you don't make time for something, you will never have time for that thing. So no matter what happens, I have to squeeze in time. I have to squeeze in time for our one-on-one sessions, no matter what. So I hope everyone enjoyed the Valentine. Some people don't find it too significant. Some people do find it significant, but after all, it's just there to spend with family, to share some love. You know, that's on the spiritual aspect of it. That is just Valentine for me, and I hope you guys have a wonderful Valentine with your family.
Yeah, we sure did.
Yeah, man, sure did.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Perfect. I'm glad to hear that. I also did the same thing. At least we also had a good time, having time to spend with the family. You know, after everything, if we're working all this money, hustling everything, one of the highest people that we hustle all of this money for is a family. So if you guys still make that time, just a little bit to spend with the people matter so much in your life, then all this money wouldn't mean anything. So yeah, it was also a nice day on my part. So I'm glad to hear most of you guys also spend it nicely. So our one-on-one session today, sorry for the delay. The delay was because I was trying to resubscribe, because you know our Zoom session sometimes we used to have a Zoom session for 4 hours. So with stuff like that, you need the higher package of Zoom. So the package I had already finished and it wasn't yet resubscribed, and I didn't know. I started the meeting thinking everything was still fine, but I checked and I saw that it was already downgraded. So I need to bring in my card to do the payment again and everything. So that is why it took me a couple of minutes to reconnect. So sorry about that delay.
No worries, man. I appreciate you.
That's okay, Godlove.
All right.
That's good.
Perfect. I'm glad the attendee today, the number of people attend, the attendance is very, very nice. The attendance is very nice because this is strictly for mentees, and even for mentees, they've still been separated into group. And for this group, the attendance is very, very nice. So we really don't have much to do on our session today, because most of the time when we used to have sessions, it would just be covered. I would just be the one maybe teaching about something or explaining something, and most of the time, I don't usually give you guys the time to bring forth as many questions as possible, even though sometimes we used to have sessions for almost 4 hours, but the majority of that time will just be me trying to explain something or trying to demonstrate something or something like that. But I want this one for today. I want the session of today to be more of you guys, So I want the question and answer session to be above 30 minutes, to be even 45 minutes. I can just use about 15 minutes to maybe just elaborate on points I want to elaborate. But I want the highest the highest portion of the time to be dedicated to questions and answers, so that we can answer as many questions as possible. Because I know many of you guys like to have this one-on-one session with me, because you have some questions that you want me to be able to answer them. If not, you can just maybe check some of these things on Google but there are some questions you want to hear from me myself. So I want to give you guys that opportunity. So I'm going to be very brief on what I have on my side. Then after that, I'll give you guys the room, and the whole session will just be question and answers. Perfect. So the first thing on our list today, is our progress. I want to have like a track, to have the track record, or to track the progress. Has anybody been tracking the progress on the recent? Because I have other strategies. I have other advanced, even though I've already shown you guys more than 5 different trading strategies, technical strategies, fundamental strategies, robotic strategies. I've given you guys more than 6 different strategies. But talking about advanced strategies, some that even need to require robot, something like the stacking strategy. The stacking strategies requires the Perps Pro robot, right? So the stacking strategy, you can either do it manually or with the robot. It is the Perps Pro robot. That is a robot that has also been going very viral, even from just a few people that I've shared. People are already doing wonders with that robot, but no need to hurry, no need to rush. I want us to take our time to test it very well. Take your time to test the robot very well. You always have access to the robot, so long as you're my mentee, you always have access to the robot, even including others that are coming. Remember, I also promised you guys that there's also an advanced one coming, an advanced hedging strategy robot coming that I'll also bring to you guys. But I can't just dump in everything. It's something that I want to see progress. I want to see some I want to be able to track the progress of what I have already given you guys before. When I see that, okay, you guys have already consumed what I've delivered already before I can bring in something. I don't just want to bring one robot this week, the other, or one strategy this week, the next week I bring another one without even maybe keeping a track record of how different people are testing the other one, how you guys are back testing, the difficulties you guys are having, the questions you guys have, and stuff like that. So on today's session, we're going to dedicate the first portion of the session just to go through the robot, the questions, some of the findings. I want to know some of the findings that you guys have been able to come up with. What are some of the findings? What are some of the feedbacks? What have you guys? I want to hear at least one discover, something that somebody has discovered. At least each of you guys should be able to give me at least one thing you've discovered. That is the use of a group like this, you see. So at least I want to be able to hear from you guys something you have discovered about Perps Pro, or maybe the sweet spots you've discovered, or maybe the sweet parameter setting you've discovered that you see that are already working, even though it's still going to take a lot of time to test. But even if they are already working now, at least bring it up so that we can already know, maybe you've discovered something that we don't even know. With that robot, you can do wonders. The sky is not even the limit when it comes to that robot. The sky is just the beginning. So you can do wonders. But before you get to that level, testing. So the first portion is going to be dedicated for that, so that at least I can have some feedbacks. I can be able to see what you guys have discovered. Maybe you guys came across some difficulties and stuff like that. So the first portion is going to be dedicated to that. Then maybe next week, obviously I'm going to be bringing in the advanced hedging strategy robot. It's still going to be strategy. I'm going to teach you guys the strategy without the robot. You can trade the strategy without the robot. But after that, I'll bring in another robot that I've created only for that strategy, you see. But above all, Perps Pro is the highest. Perps Pro is I think it's the longest robot that I've used, the highest robot that has given me money. If I want to be sincere with you guys, if I want to be crystal clear, or if I want to be frank with you guys, the highest one that has given me money is Perps Pro, sorry. And the highest one that has also blown my accounts is Perps Pro, yeah. So you understand why I'm saying that, because Perps Pro is the kind of robot we call the all or nothing. All right, the all or nothing robot, the all or nothing strategy. It's either you make the $10,000 from the $1,000 account, or you lost the 1,000. It's either you make the $5,000 from the $1,000 account, or you'll be comfortable. I'm not saying, it's not like I'm being negative. I'm already saying, no, you're going to lose your money. No, I'm just saying, in our just mentally, we already know that a strategy that can give you 10x of your account balance can still take, like, if there's 100x of the balance, it can still take the whole balance within a shorter period of time. But I don't care. The reason why I said it is one of the highest strategies, or one of the highest robot that has blown my account, is because, okay, if within a week I have, let me just say I have 3 live accounts, right? I have 3 live accounts. I have $2,000 in this one, 2,000, or let's just say I have even 4, or let's just say 3. I have $2,000 in this one, $2,000 in this account, in this one, $2,000 in this one. And do my analysis, I get my snapper support and resistance. Let me just say I take on buy only on the first account. That account didn't go my way. That 2,000 is gone. I do my analysis again on my second account. Let's just say my decision was a sell only. I was maybe selling from the support coming down, or maybe I was selling from the resistance coming down to the resistance. Maybe it didn't go my way. That for 4,000 is gone. Maybe on the third account, I can be lucky on that one. Remember, trading is a game of probability. I already have the odds on my favor that that trade is going to go my way, and I just have my fingers crossed. If that last one goes my way, I can move my 2,000 to 15,000. I can move my 2,000 to 12,000. In extreme cases, I can move my 2,000 to above 20,000. So even if at the end of the day, just one of those accounts succeed to go my way, it's just like it's like trying to climb a hill. So long as if one account tried to reach the apex of that hill, I'm gone. You see, I wouldn't even mind how many accounts I've blown. I'm just looking for one account to pick up to get from my support, from my snapper support to my snapper resistance, and I'm gone. If I'm able to make $18,000 from that account, I'll just remove the 4,000 that I've lost from those other ones. The 4,000 I keep, I'm still up for maybe plus $16,000 plus $14,000. So that is just the mentality. And it is the same strategy I've been using for years upon this strategy, just like you guys can. If you can know coding, if you check the coding, you see some of the codings is from 2 years, some of the steps, some of the parameters inside is from 2 years. That is why I said it is a strategy that has given me the most amount of money, and it is a strategy that has blown the highest amount of my account. But at the end of the day, I'm still making money with the strategy because it is still one of my best strategies, because you guys already know what Perps Pro can do for you. You guys already know what the stacking strategy can do for you if you know what you're doing. So even after all the accounts that I've mentioned, as a Forex trader, obviously you go through that bet. How strong is your strategy? How strong is your strategy? How strong can your strategy recover your losses? How strong can your winners bulldoze your losers? So that is the other thing with Perps Pro. And if you guys have been back testing, you guys must have seen this. If you guys have been, sorry, let me put this thing on silent. If you guys have been back testing the robot, then you must have seen most of these things that I'm saying. So just like I said, I don't want this session today because the session, I want to try as much as possible to keep the time. So even though it's a 1 hour session, I want the highest portion of that session to be dedicated to answering questions. So we're going to do it this way. Let's start from any person. Just put your hand up. Tell us your findings, what you've discovered with the robot, how your back testing is going, how you're progressing, and stuff like that. If I can get just one feedback from each person here, that would be so wonderful. At least remember, we are all here learning from each other. I'm going to be learning a lot from your feedbacks. Trust me, the reason why I have this, I can't wait. I can't even wait to have live sessions with you guys, because you got your feedbacks are wonderful. You guys have even gone an extra mile. Some of you guys have even gone an extra mile to test some of the parameters that I haven't even tested. You see, so if you've discovered something or you want to tell us your progress when it comes to the testing, please just put your hands up so that I can be able to call you up.
Okay. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I don't know how to put my hands up, but I have a question.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
We are the old school. Yeah. Thank you so much for the good Lord to use you, as a source of blessing to majority of us, or all of us, I should say. Yeah, the robot works wonderfully well. I did about 20 back testing or more over the course of the weekend, And as you rightly said, it's a game of number, If one he can stomach, to put aside some kind of money that that you can afford to lose, yeah, that is fine, It's so wonderfully, it works wonderfully well.
Tunde,
but from my own findings,
Tunde,
yes,
sorry, I'm very, very sorry. Let me just break you a little bit. Let me just break you there. I'm so flabbergasted hearing that you've tested almost about 20, you've done about 20 back testing. That is so wonderful. It's like they say, it's like learning a skill. It's like learning to be a soccer player. The more you practice sometimes, the more your muscles are going to adapt. So that is very, very commendable. That is very, very recommended. So another thing I want to say, you just mentioned something that is just a game of numbers. If in one trade you can carry a bucket of money from one trade and you just put it aside. That bucket, you can just consider that bucket as your playing ground. I like what you said. You can just consider that bucket as your playing ground, because if I can take a trade from 2,000 to 20,000, it used to happen. You're going to see it with the robot. You're going to see. If I can take a trade from $2,000 to $20,000, I can just split those two. I can just split that basket. into 2 baskets. One basket of 10,000, I know that, okay, this is my playing ground. I'm going to go inside that 10,000. Maybe I split it down into 5 different accounts. You see, I split it into 5 different accounts. I do 5 different analysis and I take 5 different trades. And trust me, in this group, with the knowledge you have, with the experience you have, if you place 5 trades, no matter what, at least 2 will go your way. That is the truth. If you do your analysis, please mute your mics. I dare it. Okay, I think I've already muted it on my side. Let me also mute Elvis on my side. Good. So that is the thing. It's just a game of numbers. If you can already have one basket, let's just say I make 20,000, I separate 10,000, 10,000. 10,000 is just going to be for my profit. I can use that one to maybe buy property or maybe invest on something, or that is my profit. I can use that one. But another basket, I can say, okay, this is my playing ground. This is my playing ground. And I can even split that 10,000 into 5 different accounts. I know that, okay, I'm going to analyze 5 different currency pairs, or I'm going to analyze all the 22 currency pairs and take the 5 best trade. You see, and take the 5 best trade. And remember, most of our trade, we do our analysis on the 4-hour time frame, daily time frame. So when we place our trade, we're not forced to be glued to our computer when we are looking. So if we can do our analysis, if I can do my analysis on all those currency pairs and I choose the best 5 setups, and I place 5 trades on those best 5 setups, trust me, no matter what, 2 of those setups will go my way. And no matter what, 2 of those setups will go my way. If just 2 go my way, and I'm using a $2,000 account, that $2,000 account, you can take my $2,000 account at the end of the day can be 10,000. At least I can be 10,000 if I'm moving from, let's just say, a support to a resistance of at least 200 pips. Before you move from 1 pip to 200 pips, remember, trust me, that account must have grown from 2,000 to above $10,000. No matter what, no matter the currency pair you're using, if the distance between your support and your resistance is 150 pips above, let's just say about 200 pips, then before that trade leaves your support to your resistance or your resistance to your support, if you're buying or selling, you must have, if you're having a $2,000 account, your equity must be above $10,000. So if just 2 go my way, just two of those accounts go my way, one make what 10,000 and another one make 10,000. The other ones, I don't care. I don't care. Somebody can come and see the other one blowing up, and the person can go and be crying for me and say, I see Godlove is having a $2,000 account that is almost red, it's almost zero. I wouldn't even care because 2 accounts have already posted. I already make $20,000. I go there again, I just remove my $10,000, I put aside, I still have $10,000 as my playing ground. So you see, our problem at this point in time, your problem at this point in time is just to get into the circle. That is how it is. It's like starting a car. It's like you start a car, you put it on gear, you start leaving the clutch a little bit. So long as our main problem at this point is to start accelerating. That is the problem with Perps Pro. Not even the problem, but our difficulty at this point in time is to start accelerating. Start accelerating in terms of the first budget or the first risk capital. The first risk capital you're going to put in your first life account. You understand? That is the most difficult thing at this point in time. That is because you remember I said the most difficult thing at this point in time is to start accelerating. Once you start accelerating, you're going to get in that particular zone. That is my own zone. That is my own zone. That is Perps Pro is like my own zone. Once I get inside that zone, blow this one, make this money. At the end of the day, I'm still making a lot of money. But if somebody sees my account, the person can even go and maybe commit suicide on my behalf. Because the person will say, I see this guy just blowing a $10,000 account, blowing a $5,000 account. But the person doesn't know what happens on the background. That is just what it is. So our main problem at this point in time is kicking off, is to start the acceleration, is to start. So once you already start that acceleration and you get in that particular circle, you'll be able to see that you have a big playing ground. You have a big playing ground. You can test this strategy today. You can test this on this. You can test this currency pair. Do this. At the end of the day, even if you look at one account and you put $1,000 account and it's already down by 800, 500, you don't care because one is already somewhere. As this hand is like a scissor. As soon as one is going down, another one is somewhere lifting you up. So that is the most important thing. That is the most important thing. And part of starting the acceleration in good pace part of starting the acceleration in good pace is backtesting. That is the key thing. Part of starting your acceleration in a good pace. There used to be situations where I see people. I've seen situations where somebody take $2,000 account, split it into two, put it into account, do his analysis on go, see that okay, the market is moving from this support to this resistance, place his trade. At the end of the day, that $1,000 account move maybe to $6,000 account. Then on the other one, even if that other one blows up, he already have $6,000. Remember, he started with 2,000. He's already up with $6,000. He can even still come down. He just move his $4,000 account, 4,000 keep aside, come back then to 2,000. Do analysis on two other pairs. If you are lucky, those two pairs can even all pick up. Maybe you do your analysis on go, you place your trade on go, it goes your way. You do your analysis on USD JPY, you place your trade on USD JPY, it goes your way. That is very possible. There used to be sometimes I used to have 100% win rate on 5 trades. I mean, I do my analysis on 5 currency pairs and I place my trade and they all go my way. But there still used to be situations where I do my analysis on 5 pairs, I place my trades on those 5 pairs and maybe just one show up, or maybe just one was able to pick that run. You see, but at the end of the day, that one that was able to pick up is enough to still cover my losses. It's still enough to cover my losses. You see, it's only in extreme cases where you can do 5 analysis, place 5 trades and lost all those 5 trades. That's never happened. As I can't remember when last that happened to me. It can happen, but in very rare cases where you do your analysis. You do your analysis, follow all your precautions, follow everything, plot your chart, and you do 5 trades and five go. You have win rate of 0. So what Tunde said is very, 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 very important. You need to be able to know that, okay, you'll be able to get to a zone where you have like capital for your playing ground, all right? So getting to that particular level or getting to that accelerated level where you just start rotating, between accounts, you just start rotating and trading is the highest thing that will be able to help you to get to that point is this back testing. Trust me, you guys are going to discover a lot. Even I myself that I created the robot, I'm still learning, even though I'm already making money with the robot, I'm still learning every day. That's why you can see when we just started the first version that I sent to you guys, after some time, I told you guys, no, there's a second version. That is why you see softwares, you have version 2.0, version 2.05, version 2 this, because you keep seeing new things that you need to upgrade, need to do this. So even I myself is still learning curve, but I already know that this is already a tool that can do us wonders. This is already a tool that can do us wonders. So, yeah, Tunde, sorry for interrupting you. I just wanted to make that very clear because that is
thank you so much.
Yeah, because that is something
thank you.
I have discovered myself, and it is very,
thank
very
you.
important.
Yeah, if I may continue, if you allow me to continue, please. Yeah, from my own findings, I know you may not like this, but I discovered that introducing take profit and stop losses sometimes really help. Because I've taken an account from $2,000 to $15,000 using mini lot, not micro lot this time. And I use a take profit of 50, no stop loss. And I consistently get 15,000 from that 2,000 account. Even I try with $1,000, I still get about 15,000 with a mini lot. Then when it got to when I got it down to $500, his starting account, it got blown off, with that mini lot. So using micro lot too, I got some interesting results too. Using 50 pip take profit, I took 200 to 1,500 in one of the tests.
200.
Even because I know that some of us, they might not have the $2,000 to start with. But as I said earlier on, some want to use money they can afford to lose. We don't want to use our mortgage money, as I mentioned before, to do the trading. So we may have $1,000. Some may want to divide into 5 equal parts. And as you rightly said, they may want to try the 5 and see which one really works from the pairs and using your support and resistance strategies at the same time. So I just want to shed light on the issue of take profit and stop loss. I did a lot of tests concerning that. Sometimes I use only take profit, sometimes I use only stop loss. And I've been getting interesting results concerning that. For those who want to be conservative, or as Riley said, I buy your idea of trying 5 different trades, and at least 2 of them will give you a very good result, like 10x your account, which is really good too. But when it comes to using a small number like $200 to get started, or you have $2,000 this month, you want to split it into $200 or $300, by the time you use that strategy, it gets blown up easily, even with the support and resistance. From my own findings, maybe some of you guys, I'm sure, are quite smarter than me. They can work out their support and resistance very well and get it right. But in a situation where the volatility is so high and you have a very limited amount of money, say you have 250 or 300, you want to try it 5 times, or you can afford to lose $1,000 this month or to try it, and you want to break it down into 5 different parts. You discover that the money you want to start with is really small for this strategy and can easily get blown up, But some are very comfortable with using $1,000 5 times or 3 times, but not all of us in most cases. And we don't want to use our mortgage money.
That's true.
We don't want to hold the bank that. So that is I just want you to shed light into this.
All right. So let me take down this other point again. Then, okay, it's a starting capital. Good. Okay, if I can follow up, if I could pick some points from what you have actually from your findings, if I can actually deduce some points from your finding, you've actually gone through something which was like the basic idea for before I even created the robot. Before I created that robot, the basic idea, remember, if you go on YouTube or the general rule for trading, you need to put stop loss on this, take profit, blah, blah, all of that. That is the general rule. Yeah, it still works to today, but yeah, there are still, when you start going far and doing your own personal research, you upgrade and even include some things which you won't see anywhere. But starting right from the basics, before I even created the robot, the same thing you are testing out, now is what I used to do on a daily basis, even just on a stacking strategy without even bringing in Perps Pro. As soon as I place my trade, trust me, I'll just run and go and take profit on this one and stop loss on this one. Good. It's nice, but let me tell you, it's both a two-sided sword. I explained this thing on Patreon, but I'm still on Discord, but I'm still going to explain again. I'm still going to explain this again. It's both a two-sided sword. On one side of the sword, let me start with the Perps Pro side of the sword. Remember, the main idea of Perps Pro is to 10x, 5x, 20x, or even 1000x. Remember, we did a backtesting, and that backtesting took a $10,000 account to 1 million. And when we doubled, that was, you guys saw it, we did it live on camera, I even sent it again to the group. That account was on Great Britain Pound USD, I think from the 13th of December to the 20th of January. I still remember very well. That account alone, our backtesting took that account from $10,000 to more than $1 million. 10,000 to more than $1 million. And when we even increase the number of trade per signal to maybe 3 trades per signal, the account could still, remember, our main goal is for the account to kick off. If you can have the equity for the account to kick off, so long as you're already on the 30,000, 40,000 marks and going up, even if the market is retracing on your behalf, your equity is already big, your equity is already high. So that is the main thing. So we did our backtesting, and that particular robot alone took an account from $10,000 to 1 million. When we even increased the number of trades per signal, it took the same account from $10,000 to almost about $2 million. Trust me, Tunde, if I can have just that kind of one setup, and that was within a month, if I can have just that kind of one setup in a month, in a year, I won't even talk of a month. If I can have that kind of setup in a year, I can close trading for the whole of that year and know that I'm done. You understand? That is just to give you an idea, So that is the Perps Pro side of the robot. But now, if you were introducing, let's just say you are introducing a 50 pips take profit, and even without a stop loss, yeah, with Perps Pro, stop loss is not even that's so vital because you've already predefined your risks. Remember, with trading, once you've already predefined your risks, the stop loss doesn't really count. Stop loss is like a myth, one of the main reasons why people blow their account. So, but if you were actually putting take profit, let's just say for each of your trades, you are having take profit of 50 pips, 50 pips, 50 pips, right? It means by the time the robot is already up by 200 pips, by 300 pips, by 400 pips, remember the small trade. Remember for Perps Pro, before you have that 10x, 20x, 40x, it is the compounding, it is the basket of all the trades that are still on. You understand? It is the basket of all the trades that have been running that are still in profit. And some of those trades, remember, they were open more than they were open. There were the few trades that were open as you just started. Maybe those ones are already up by plus 200 pips, by plus 300 pips. That is why the money is accumulated. That is why it is a basket of money. But you introducing a take profit, you're gonna like put a hold. It's like pressing the neck. It's like you're gonna put like actually choke. You're choking Perps Pro. You understand? So it's just the best way of me explaining. So you bringing in a take profit is like choking. It's like you're choking Perps Pro, and as soon as there's that trend, that particular trending market come up, and the robot wants to trend, the robot wants to take advantage of that trending market. Your take profit is going to limit you. Your take profit is going to close the trade, maybe plus your 50 pips. Your take profit is going to close those small trades. And at the end of the day, yeah, you might take your $200 account can go to $1,500. Your $1,000 account can go maybe to $5,000 or maybe $10,000. But in that same sense, in that same scenario, if Perps Pro was on without a take profit, trust me, that $1,000 that is giving you $5,000 would have given you $15,000, would have given you $20,000, would have given you even more than that. It is very, very possible. So the reason why I said it is a two-sided sword, you using a take profit, you limit the proportion. You limit the proportion and the amount of money you can make with the robot. You see, you limit. If you are conservative, if you want to be conservative, that is why you see the most important thing is the parameter is already there. You understand? That is why I said with this robot, the sky is not even the limit, but the sky is just the beginning. The parameter for stop loss is already there. The parameter for take profit is there, and I even thought of including even the parameter for trailing stop, but it wouldn't make sense because it would just still be over limiting the number of money you can make again. Because trailing stop will just be behind the trend. As soon as the market wants to just retrace, it will stop you out. But the main idea behind this robot is to take advantage of a retracement, is to take advantage of fluctuations in the market. If we buy and the market is going up, what is going to happen when the market goes against us? That is when the robot will be able to take that advantage. That is why if you see the market start going against you, the robot just wait. As soon as the trend kicks in again, the robot start buying. So in that situation, using stop loss or using take profit and trailing stops limit the amount of money you can make, even though it can secure your equity. You see, that is just, those are the two scenarios. It can secure your equity, but it will limit the extent to the amount of money you can make. So if you are somebody who wants to make, you want to make a $10,000 from a $1,000 account, you want to make a $20,000 account from a $2,000 account, then using a take profit is going to be very, very difficult for you to achieve those kind of results. And sometimes when I do my analysis and I have confidence in me that this trade is going to go that way, I don't want to limit the amount I don't want to put limits on myself. I just let the trade run. I let the trade run because I believe that it's going to hit that particular zone. And by the time I see that it's almost about 50 pips to get to my resistance or to my support or to that zone, you check your account, $2,000, you see you're already on 20,000 bouncing up and down, or 25,000 bouncing up and down. It is very, very possible. But with take profit, you can't see that because the first few trades that were open, maybe your take profit was 50 pips. All those trades have already been closed. And maybe you just have a $50, $50. Even if there were 100 trades that have been closed, $50 times 100 is just about maybe about 2,000 or 1,500 or so. So that is just the reason why I said it is a two-sided sword. So we already have the parameters there. We have the parameter of take profit and stop loss already there. So if you are conservative and want to test it out, feel free to test it out. If you want to start with a $200 account and you want to test it out with a take profit, I can't give any optimum data for take profit and stop loss because I personally don't use it that much. Even though very soon I'm going to start trying again. I'm going to start looking for sweet spots for take profit and stop loss. But for now, I can't give you any recommendation to say, okay, use 50 pips stop loss, use 50 pips take profit, use this. So it's left for you to do back testing as much as you can if you want to implement take profit. But the main idea of Perps Pro is to 10x, 20x, 50x, 100x, 1000x our account balance. And if you're ready and you have what you can afford to lose, then that is the main goal of the strategy. And our main problem at this point in time is to get into the acceleration, is to get one trade that will accelerate in our favor, and we're good to go. We're good to go. So I hope, Tunde, I don't know if you've understood my explanation of why I said it is both a two-sided sword and what you can do better.
Yeah, thank you so much. I understand very well. Thank you so much.
All right.
Yeah, I'm only concerned about the preservation of the capital.
Yes.
But as you rightly said, you are right. You are very correct.
Yes, that's true. Capital preservation is very vital. That's why if you check Warren Buffett, he said his first rule, he's having two rules of investing, right? The first rule of investing is never lose your capital. And the second rule of investing is never forget rule number one. You see, so those are his two rules of investing. But yeah, it is very important for you. Capital preservation is very, very important. But sometimes if your preservation skills are too tightened, you might even limit yourself on the amount of money you can make. That is why I said, so long as we can already predefine the risks and we have what we can afford to play with, what we can afford to risk, what we can afford to lose, then this is a good way to go. Give it a try. That's why part of giving it a try is first of all, try it on a demo. Back test until you dream, you sleep on, you go on your sleep and you dream of the strategy, you see pairs that are, it's gonna be sometimes you even just sit and you open your chart and you feel within me that today I'm gonna trade Great Britain pound USD. No matter how somebody convince you, you say today I'm trading Great Britain pound USD. You open your computer, you do your analysis, you place your trade, and it goes your way. That is what they call trading in the zone. I recommended a book for you guys to read. I've never recommended any book in trading, but that is the only book I've recommended for you guys to read, Trading in the Zone. It doesn't have any strategy. That book doesn't have any strategy at all. It just trains you as a trader. I've read that book at least 5 times. I mean, at least 5 times. I can even meditate. I can even remember some chapters in that book, word to word. So it's very, very important. It doesn't have any strategy, no strategy at all. But it just trains you. It's a very big book. It trains you with the mind, or to have a mind of a trader. So we already have parameters of take profit, parameters of stop loss, even parameters, some of the parameters I don't even use on a daily basis. So try all those parameters. If you can't afford to start with $1,000 and you want to start with $200, then maybe implementing take profit, as Tunde has said, is a very, very big discovery. It's a very, very big discovery. So try to implement that take profit to see how it goes, to see if maybe you can take your $200 to maybe $500, your $200 to maybe $1,000. Even just taking a $200 account to $400. Remember, that is a 100% gain, right? 100% gain. There is no bank on earth. There is no hedge fund. There is no account manager that will give you even 20% gain per month. Remember, there is no bank, no hedge fund, no account manager that will give you even 20% of your account balance per month. The bank, I remember even my banks here, the highest they can give me, I think it used to be 3.8%. With high, you can't see a bank that will give you even up to 4% per. They even say per annum, not even per month. So you can already see the word. You can already see the tool we have in our hand. The tool we have in our hand is very, very powerful. So even if you introduce take profit and it takes you from just 200 to 400, that is still a game changer. All right, that is still a game changer. Even if it takes you from 200 to 500, that is still a game changer. At least that is a starting point. That is a starting point before you get to a level where, okay, you can now afford to risk 1,000 and that 1,000 move from 1,000 to 10,000. Good. That is where you start. That is where there's going to be a point where there's no turning back. you guys should know that there's going to be a point in trading where there will be no turning back. Where even if somebody comes and say, okay, I believe maybe you're already having this or 10,000, just know if you want, yeah, you can still lose all the 10,000. But if you know how you are planning your trade meticulously, you know that, okay, all this, maybe this my 10,000, I can't just risk it all on one account. I need to diversify my portfolio. There is going to be a time where there's no turning back. It's either you're going to be moving from 10,000 to 20,000 to 40,000 to 50,000, or you stay on that level. Then to get to a point where you get to 10,000 and before they see tomorrow, you are back to trading a $100 account. That point is going to get to that particular point, that particular zone. So introducing some parameters or testing out some parameters like the take profit, stop loss, and even the one I haven't mentioned is very, very important. But the one I mentioned on the video we had about Perps Pro, those are the optimum. Those are the ones I'm using on a daily basis, and we even did some back testing, and you guys could confirm. All right. So Tunde, thank you so much for your discovery, and please, you guys should also try as much as possible. Try as much as possible to backtest with take profit, backtest with stop loss, backtest fluctuate. Try to change number of trades per signal. Try to change your lot size. Try to every parameter that is there. That means you can take only one backtesting alone, and you backtest that particular trade alone 15 times if there are 15 parameters. You understand? The first parameter maybe is just one trade per signal with the same lot size. Maybe the second backtesting, now you are using the same trades per signal that you had on that previous one, but now you change your lot size. On the next backtesting, maybe you increment, so you just keep doing that. Maybe on the next one now, you can even increase now on this, because remember, we even have news filter. We have even news filter inside a particular robot. So meaning that if you are using that particular robot, you don't even need to care about news. That is just what you don't even need to care whether NFP is going to come up and push the market up for the next 200 people. No, you don't need to care, because the market, that particular robot itself is having a risk management and money management program into it, and it can handle that. It's having spread filter. There is no way the spread will ever go up for 100 pips and affect you. No, there's already a spread filter that you're telling the robot that do. So most of those things are there, and it's just left for us to backtest and look for better sweet spot or good settings that we can use to take our trade. Good. Thank you so much. Tunde, let me see if any other person is having any particular finding about Perps Pro. Ray, do you have any finding? Okay, I have two Rays. The first, okay, Ray, I can see Ray's picture, I can see Ray's video. Then the other Ray, I can see his video. So Ray with the video. Do you have any finding?
Yeah, guys, my name is Ray from Manchester, but currently I'm in Qatar at the moment, so it's very late over here. The only thing that I'll say is everybody have got a style of learning. And what I did was after I watched the video of how to install and to do the backtesting, I watched the video about 20 times just to memorize, the parameters. Because I wanted to trade in a stage that when I get into the market, when I see signal like a require balance, it's a ratio. I know exactly what that parameter is. Trade per signal, I know exactly. So I watch the video even when I'm going to bed. I had my phone, listening. So I memorize everything. And the only thing that I discovered is like what Tunde said. If you have a small account and you want to trade on gold move very fast. Gold, US 30. Nasdaq, you can't trade on those pairs with a $200 and $300 account. And so this is something that I myself have discovered, that if you have a $200, $300 account, you need to trade on the currency pairs because they move very slow. And the lot size is very, very important. So if you want to make quick money and you feel like, okay, gold is the one that will shoot me to the take profit, that can blow your account. So me personally, and I think our mentor have already answered one of the questions I wanted to ask about the trailing stop loss. Because, now that he have explained it, so I understand why he didn't put a trailing stop loss, as part of the parameters. So what I've discovered and what I wanted to advise people, like Tunde said, not everybody can afford £1,000, £2,000, or 3,000. So the strategy that Tunde came is a brilliant. You can grow your account by using that take profit. But I think we need to stick to the currency pairs because they don't move fast compared to NASDAQ or gold or US 30 or German 30. And what I've also discovered, I've just started trading about 9 months ago, and what I've learned is so amazing. I didn't even know how to draw a trend line. So I went watch the video of what our mentors, have put on there. So I started practicing, okay, which time frame? So I realized, me personally, I realized the 4-hour time frame is okay for me. So when I'm drawing the trend line and I step down to the line chart to see if like I'm in the right, like the levels are right. The killer, support and resistance level. So I said, okay, let me reverse. So what I normally do is like, before I'll draw the trend line, I will use the line chart first to draw, the trend line. Then I'll change it to the candlesticks and see if those candles will be in the zone. And it's working for me. So that's the only advice that I would like to share with people here. Yeah, thank you so much, guys.
Perfect. Ray, thank you so much, Ray. Thank you so much. At least you've done a lot of findings, and you've also gotten a lot. You've discovered a lot. You've discovered a lot, and I admire that because they say proper preparation prevents poor performance. Yeah, proper preparation prevents poor performance, and that is very, very true. Because some of these things you guys mentioned here, maybe it's even something I've come across and I've even started forgetting. But the moment you guys mentioned, I'm like, okay, I need to start maybe implementing this thing again. I need to start trying this thing again. I need to start doing this again. So as I was just taking down the points, the points on what you said. The first thing is, first of all, understanding the parameters of the robot. That is very, very important. So what you've done is very, very important, because you're going to be totally lost if we sit here and I'm talking about, okay, you can increase, and I'm talking about increasing trades per signal to maybe 2 trades, or maybe talking about balance ratio to close. We're going to be using most of those terms and you don't have any idea. So the more you familiarize yourself with most of those parameters, at least remember, the main reason why I even brought in this concept at this level, at this advanced level, was because I assume that at least we are already moving to the tertiary level, to the advanced level of the course. So if I'm talking about more advanced things and I'm using advanced terminology, I'm not going to be alone. All right. I want us to be talking the same language. That was the main reason why I have to keep all these things and waited for the advanced level of the course before I could start bringing in most of these things. So the fact that you've already familiarized yourself with the parameters. If I'm mentioning about this one, you already know this is what is happening. Maybe I'm going to do this. It's going to help you a lot. It's going to help you a lot, and that is very nice. And I also like your system of progress. Your system of learning is also very, very nice, because it is more practical than theory. That is the most important thing. Trading is more practical, it's 90% practical and just about 10% theory, because at least you even devising your own method of drawing your support and resistance. And guys, whatsoever works for you, whatsoever you see which is working for you, there is even I can't deny it. Trust me. Whatsoever you see that if you discovered something and you come up to me and you say, I'm going to boast and I say, okay, I saw that Ray has discovered this. I won't deny it, because nobody knows it all. So your system, even your system of drawing your support and resistance, so long as you see that that system is working for you, is giving you accurate sniper support and resistance, there is no way any person is going to deny that. I'm going to install that one. So even though there's a video I made that explains something similar to that, just like using the line chart to confirm if your candlesticks are on the same confluence. I remember. So it means you've also gone through the lessons and you're practicing very well. And that is the same thing that is going to help us to get to that accelerated level. Remember I said, with this strategy or any other advanced strategy that will give us 10x, our main goal is to get to that accelerated level. Remember, to start a car, put the gear, put the clutch, and start going. Our main goal is to start accelerating. And part of start accelerating, one of the highest things that is going to help us is backtesting and practice. Backtesting and practice. So you've discovered a lot, and that is very, very nice. And then let me also check. Another thing I also saw here. Oh, okay, this one, yeah, this is good. Yes, then another thing you also mentioned was the capital, like the starting capital. Many people won't afford to start they won't afford $1,000 to start with. That is very true. If you look at my fingers, these fingers are not the same, and they will never be the same. They are not the same, and they will never be the same. The fact that somebody can afford to start with $1,000, somebody will even struggle to start with $200. I understand. So if you discover that there are parameters you can put into, you can use, the parameters are already there. So if you discover that there are parameters you can combine to be able to secure your account balance, your small account balance, to grow to get to a particular level where you can start chilling with the big boys, to a particular level where you can start risking big, then you can use those strategies to grow your small account. And maybe when that account has gotten to 5,000, you can afford to go inside of 5,000, remove 1,000 and put in a strategy that you think that strategy is going to give you 10,000 or 15,000. So that is very nice. That is proper risk management. And that is what they call growing steadily, growing steadily. That is very, very important. So if you guys can confirm, if you can combine some of these parameters, like you try to implement take profit, then you could also do without take profit. If you see that take profit can preserve your capital, then also ensure that your equity grows at a steady rate, then nobody's going to refuse that. Nobody's going to refuse that. So that is also very, very important. So for those that can afford to start with very small accounts, maybe you can try that, all right? Maybe you can try, because remember, I said for Paytex Pro, the recommended capital that you can start with, to even use zero, to use the smallest lot size, of 0.01. I said the recommended account balance you are supposed to have is $1,000. If you can remember what I said the recommended account balance is $1,000. And see the lot size we're using, 0.0, that's the smallest in the market, 0.01. Because I know with the power of the strategy, at the end of the day, we'll be having 400 trades, we'll be having 300 trades, we'll be having 500 trades. And that's 0.01 lot size. Maybe by that time, will be maybe 10 lot size, maybe 8 lot size, maybe 15 lot size. So that is the power of the strategy. That is the power of the strategy. That is why I recommend, even when you are backtesting, you'll be able to see, if you start a particular trade with maybe $500, that account might blow up. But if you take the same trade on a $1,000 account, that account might survive. Why? Because your equity was big enough to handle that volume. Your equity was big enough to handle fluctuations in the market. That's why I recommend with the strategy, the starting capital that I recommend is 1,000. And the lot size, the smallest lot size, 0.01. And if you have 10,000, then you can use 0.1. You only start using one lot size if you have like $100,000 before you can even use that. You see, so that is very, very important, because you guys are already bringing in strategies and steps that can not only help somebody who is having a $1,000 account, but somebody who can afford to even start with something smaller than that. So I appreciate a lot. I appreciate that particular finding a lot, and I also appreciate the fact that you guys are already seeing need for you guys to practice with those parameters. So try to implement take profit, stop loss, and those parameters that can secure smaller account balance, instead of just sticking with the ones that can secure big account balance like 1,000. Because I mentioned 1,000 because most of the time I start with 1,000, I start with 2,000, I start with 5,000. So but not everybody will afford to start with that. So with people with small account balance, try to preserve your account and use other parameters. Try to use other parameters tweaking to see if you can have a better and a sweet spot for the strategy. So thank you so much, Ray. Let's go to the other Ray. Let's go to the other Ray, Ray Adetoye. Please, let's hear from Ray.
Okay, thanks, sir. First of all, I would like to thank you for just putting your effort to innovate this kind of robot, because I can see a lot of millions in front of me will come in the near future. So thanks very much. And back to my finding, I have experienced the problem on backtesting within 1 day interval. Let's say when I want to backtest, but within 24 hours interval, let's say 23 hours interval, I cannot test it. Maybe it's, I don't know, there is something I'm just doing a mistake or what, but it doesn't respond on 1 day interval.
Okay, it doesn't respond if you put the range. Okay, are you talking in terms of calendar settings or the time frame on your chart?
On calendar setting.
Okay, when you press on test, then you choose between 2 days, between maybe the 15 and the 14. Is that
yes,
sir?
Yes. 15 and 14th and 15.
Good. Remember, with backtesting, I know what else. I know. With backtesting, most of the times, if you choose, let me just say, if you want to test a day, it is always recommended most of the times to choose to put 2 days in between that particular interval, because sometimes MT5 time can go 1 day ahead. Because let's just say you want to test between the 13 and the 14. The robot can actually start testing from the 14. So it will actually just be 14, maybe 12 midnight 14, 12 midnight 14. So you see, the robot won't even give that time, won't even give any day in between. So let's just say, okay, if you want to test Friday, let me go on my calendar and I explain what I'm saying. If you want to test something like, let's just say you want to test Friday, Friday that just passed was on the 11th. On your backtesting, on the backtesting end, when you are putting in your parameters, choose from Thursday to, don't put Friday itself. Don't put Friday, because if you choose from Thursday to Friday, it's going to end on Thursday night. You see, I don't know if Adelitus is with me. Please, I want to confirm if you understand what I'm saying.
Yes, I understand, sir.
Okay, good. So let me share my screen, and because this is the same problem. I think it was Belinda. No, I don't think somebody asked me the same question. Let me just show you. I don't know. Can you see my husky puppy? If you can see my husky, then you can see my screen. Can you see my husky? I want to know if you can see my screen. Ray, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Yes.
All right, good.
Yes.
Good. Perfect. So now let me just go on this demo account and show you an example. Let's just go. This is the same robot we have here. This is the same robot here. I just click here. I go on test. All right. I go on test. Let's just say, let me just take this something like Great Britain pound. Let's just open in a chart. Let me just open in a chart. Okay. Let's go on the daily time frame. If you can see, today is the 16th. Today is the 16th, right? So let's just assume we want to test for today, or let's just even take another day. Let's take like this day. That you see the market was actually falling. This day was this candle was the 27th. So let's just say we want to test the 27th, right? Adelicious, are you with me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, please just leave your mic open. Leave your mic open since you are the one, you are active now. Leave your mic open. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yes, so let's just assume we want to test for the 27th. This is what you do. You go here, you click on the robot, you go to test, and let's just wait for it to load up. I'm just praying my computer doesn't freeze today. Let's just wait for it to load up.
My friend, sit down.
Sorry, somebody's mic is on. Try to the mic. Okay, you can see on this particular screen, this is where we want to choose the day of backtesting, all right? And remember, I want to choose.
Yes.
on the 27th. So what I do here, I don't just put 27. I don't put 27. Please turn off your mics. Please turn off your mics. Turn off your... So what I do here is January, I put instead the 26. I can come here and I put the 26 because remember I want to test Thursday. So I'll instead put from 26 to the 28. 26 to the 28. Where's January? No, this is February to the 28. So you can see in between the 20, in between the 26 and the 28, we have 27. That is actually the day we're going to be testing. The robot is going to start. Okay. Yeah, the robot is going to start on midnight the 26 and end on midnight the 27, which is breaking 28. That is how it works. So in between, you have 1 day to test, which is day 27. And since it's just 1 day, we can even just test this. So I go under this, I can choose single, since I just want to get the results quick. Our balance here is $10,000, and I can see what's actually falling. So I can choose here to sell early, just to see what happened. I can put here trade per signal. Let's go with 3 trades per signal. Then maximum spread, yes. Let's stick with 5 pip spread. Then time, I don't want us to use any time. Then they just change this to black. Black. I always like to use black because my screen is white. Okay, let's put that on black. Let's also change this to black. Okay, sorry about that. Let's change this to black. Then we have all our settings. That is all. That is all. We have our lot size. Our lot size $10,000. Lot size is 0.1. Good, 0.1 on a $10,000 account. The lot size is good. We're going to be using close by balance ratio. See what would have happened. Close ratio balance. So this one, that's why I put here 10,000 because I don't want the trade to even close by balance. I just want to see how much you can make by that time frame. But if I just want to make 5 times my account balance, then I'll put here 5. 10 times, I'll put here 10. And after it has made, my equity has grown up by 10, automatically all the trades will be closed. I've already explained that. So let me see. Yes, let's just test this, guys. It's just a day. Let's just test this. And what's the time frame we are using? We are using the 1 minute. Let's go to 5 minutes so that it can be faster. Good. Let's test this and see. Let's test this and see. Let's test. Let's just wait for it to load. It's just a day, so it's not going to take time. Let's go to graph. You can see it's already testing and going up. It's already testing. So let's see. Some trades were supposed to be shown by now. What is? No trade has been open. Let's wait and see. Let's just wait for it to finish because the graph was supposed to be shown. Maybe the computer is slow and it hasn't printed it yet. Well, I want to show you that example to show you that it was able to pick just the in between. So let's just wait. If you can see the green line, this is where you see your progress. It just left about a few seconds for it to finish. Good. Perfect. Even though we had a drawdown, but let me check the extent of the drawdown and see. The drawdown went down to about 6,000. Yeah, we would have still survived. If this thing went down to maybe about 4,000, then before most of our trades would have already been closing out. But at least it went down to about 5,000, we would have survived. And at the end of the day, we ended up with what? That was just for that day with a 5 minute time frame. And you can see here, gross total net profit, that's it, $13,000 just for that day. Just for that day with a strategy. So in most cases, it can even be double this, it can even triple that, it can even be 10 times that, but that's just a benchmark. That is just for that day, from 10,000 to 23,000. So our total net profit was what? Was 13,000. And if I have to check here, please, Adele, let me check the name to come.
Yes.
Yes, Adelitus, I want you to see this. This is where you actually see which day was tested. Let me scroll down. Can you see here? Entries by weekdays. Which day can you see here?
It was Wednesday.
Wednesday. And what that Wednesday was on the 27th, right?
Yes, of course.
Yes, that Wednesday was on the 27th of January, which was what we wanted to discuss. The entries by month, January, entries by weekdays, Wednesday, and that Wednesday was on the 27th. You see, so it picks just that Wednesday, which was on the 27th, and we were smart enough to know that we have to choose from the 26th to the 28th, since the testing starts on midnight the 26th and ends on midnight the 27th, breaking 28th. So in between, we have one day, which is the 27th. So that will help you to be able to know accurately which time frame you are, or which time period you are testing. Not the time frame. It will help you to be able to know accurately which time you are actually testing. All right.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Perfect. Perfect. So let me close out this one. I just wanted to point that out. So I didn't even care if this one make profit or not. Let me close this one out. Okay, and then stop sharing the screen. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So now let's go to the next person. We already above our time, but obviously most of the time we used to go above this. So let's just quickly take another question from Ray. Ray, I can see your hand up. So let's take another question from Ray.
Yeah, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, and you?
Yeah, I'm doing good, thanks.
All right.
So, I mean, you've touched on basically most of what I was going to ask you with regards to, and also Tunde and Ray, they touched on what I was actually going to talk about in terms of how to preserve your capital if you're starting from nil, because not everyone really has that mindset and that psychological mindset at the moment to basically stay in the trade for that long. You know, when people see drawdown, they get scared. So, and I believe that as new traders, when you set your take profit and try and build your account that way, then, you know, it gives you confidence, and then you can gradually build yourself up until, you know, you can then have a good psychological mindset. So that's what I was going to talk about. The other thing is, based on what I've done so far with regards to the back testing, I noticed that when I test because basically what I've done is to make sure that my capital is basically what I intend to start with. Okay, 1,000. It could be 2, but at least 1,000. And I realized that when I trade using the lower time frame, like 5 minutes, 1 minute to 15 minutes, my account gets blown on the same currency pair. But when I go to say 30 minutes, you know, to an hour, then I'm able to make profit. So again, I kind of found out that, okay, maybe on a lower time frame, maybe it could depend on the currency pair, because of course, all this is all about volatility, isn't it? So then maybe depending on, and that's what I need to do. I need to test other currency pairs and see how, if I do my testing on a lower time frame, maybe I could get into profit, or maybe my account will still get blown. I don't know yet. But one thing I noticed is this, that, and this is actually using the robots on the demo account, you know, I realized that it seems like there's a limit to how many trades the robot can take. Is that the case? Because sometimes when the market retraces, okay, I'm expecting, and so say for example, I'm on a bullish trade and the market retraces, I'm thinking that when the market starts to go back up again, go bullish again, for each bullish candle,
it should be
right, the robot should open up a trade. Okay, but then it seems to me like there's a limit. I've kind of noticed it on 2 occasions. It seems like there's a limit to how many trades the robot can actually take in a particular trade. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Okay, I just want you to finish all your questions so that I can just, I'm writing them down so that I can just go through.
Yeah, I'm done really.
All right, perfect, perfect.
Yeah.
So starting with the first point, at least you just merely just added more spices or more points to what Ray and it was Ray and Tunde already said on capital preservation, which is very, very correct. Then another thing you said was on time frame. Yes, what you said is very, very correct. But the reason why, remember, I don't know, in a way, different people have different risk appetite. All right, my risk appetite might not be the same like your risk appetite, but the golden rule or the rule of thumb with this strategy The lower the time frame you go, the more trades you're going to have, the more riskier it's going to be, and the more your potential to make more money, and the more your potential to blow your account very fast. Does it make sense? The lower the time frame you go, it is because, remember, this strategy is candlestick dependent. The strategy is candlestick dependent. So the lower the time frame you go, the higher the amount of trades you're going to have running, and the more trades you have running, the more lot size you're going to actually have up. Maybe you're going to start with 0.01. At the end of the day, you see that you have 15 lot. You have 15 up lot, 15 up lot up running. So the lower the time frame you go, the higher the trades you're going to have, the higher the lot size you're going to have, the higher margin requirement. The trade is going to require a higher margin, and at the end of the day, the higher money you have a higher potential to make money from that particular trade. And if the trade has to go your way, you also have the higher high chances that you can quickly blow your account. So I know that's why the most important thing with any strategy is, first of all, predefining your risks. If you use your strategy on a $1,000 account, and let's just say if it succeeds, if your margin can hold and it succeeds, and I'm able to make $6,000 account on a 5-minute time frame, I'm using a 5-minute time frame. If you use that same strategy on a 15-minute time frame, instead of making 6,000, you might make 2,000. That one is very, very correct, because you're going to have fewer candles. Fewer candles are going to be open, and you're going to be having the lot size that is going to be running, that will pull in profit. The lot size is going to be small. You see, and the higher the time frame you go, let's just say you even do your analysis on the 4-hour time frame and you plot in the robot on the 4-hour. At the end of the day, maybe you might have 5 trades. So instead of making taking your account from 1,000 to 5,000, you might end up taking your account from 1,000 to 1,200, because you had just 2 trades, you had just 3 trades. The trade is candlestick dependent, and the lower the time frame you go, the lower you go, the more riskier it becomes, and the more riskier it becomes, the more potential it can give you 10x, 20x, 40x, 50x. You see, so you already predefined the risks. And if you see that, okay, the strategy, one of the reasons, if you do your analysis, it all depends on your analysis. If you do your analysis and you know that you've gotten that sniper entry, the reason why I call it, when you call something a sniper, it means once you shoot, there's no room for it to be, it should go to the target. You see, that is the reason why I call it a sniper. So if you've done your analysis and you see that, okay, you have that trade has a high probability of being a sniper trade, or being a sniper means if you buy, even if it has to be fluctuating on your support, there should be a high probability that after that it should start going up immediately. You see, so if you are able to have those sniper, you have those sniper entries, then you can use a lower time frame. You can use your 5-minute time frame, because you know that, okay, as soon as the market kicks off, it's going to start going on my favor. Even if it takes a couple of hours to fluctuate and bring new candles, because the more it is fluctuating at that support, remember that it's still going to be printing new candles. As soon as any green candle forms, it will print. But those green candles, it is very, very nice what it is. When it's doing that, it is very, very nice, because the moment the trade shoots on your favor, boom, the moment it shoots on your favor, all those small trades which the robot was already opening, remember, they will go in profit immediately. And you see your account, maybe you were doubting, like, okay, why is the account instead down on 700? Why is it back on 900? Boom, it's down on $2,500, because your direction has already kicked in. You see, so that is just the use of a lower. I use a lower time frame most of the time, only when I know that I know that I have a good sniper trade. I have good sniper setup. I know that my trade is going to kick off directly for my sniper support if I'm buying, or it's going to kick off directly for my sniper resistance if I'm selling. You see, because the more you start going up on the higher time frame, the fewer trades you're going to get. And the fewer trades you're going to get, the fewer money you can, the lower the small, you'll be able to have more chances of making very small, as opposed to if you're having a lower time frame like the 5-minute time frame, instead of having 50 trades on the 1-hour time frame or the 15-minute time frame, you'll be having 400 trades on the 5-minute time frame, which the robot can handle that. The robot can handle that. Now that drives me down to the limit. Is there a limit on the number of trades the robot can handle? The answer is capital no. The robot can open 2 billion, I don't know, it's 2 billion million or something. I don't even know how I can call it. But the robot can open that within a second, can open that within 1 trade. The robot will be able to open that. There is no limit. That is why there are some things, if that thing can be humanly, if that thing is not humanly possible, that is where we bring it in the robot. The robot can handle unlimited number of trades, because remember the parameters which are in that robot, us as human, it is humanly impossible for us to control all those parameters as soon as the trade is running. We can't be controlling news events, controlling the number of spread which are opening on each trade, controlling which area. So most of those parameters, it is humanly impossible for us to control. But now we've combined everything and that robot can handle it. And it can open unlimited number of trades. Let me tell you why. After the retracement, when you came back, you saw your chart wasn't opening. The first reason, and one reason that I've seen happen over and over and over and over on my side lies on my VPS. All right, lies on my VPS. So let me check to make sure my phone is charging. Sorry about that. So the most important thing lies on my VPS. Am I installed? Remember, installing VPS on your MT5 is not the end. All right, installing VPS on your MT5 is not the end. After you've had that VPS on your MT5, you need to make sure at anytime you make changes on your MT5, you need to go back to that VPS and migrate. You click on migrate so that it migrates the settings to the server. So if you just install your VPS and you just leave it the way it is, and you do your trade, you do your analysis, you do everything, as soon as you move away from your computer, if your computer goes to sleep, the robot also goes to sleep, because the robot is not being fed by internet. The robot is not being fed by connection, and it's not going to be performing the way it was supposed to be performing. So that is going to affect the robot. And part of affecting the robot is not going to be opening the trade when it is supposed to be opening trade. So the market will retrace. As soon as it starts going on your favor, you expect to see the robot start printing new candles, but you won't see anything, because by that time, obviously, the robot wasn't active. By that time, maybe your internet connection was slow. By that time, maybe your computer was freezing. By that time, maybe even your MT5 was having a latency. Maybe there was a latency on your MT5. You see, that's why when you see the market start printing and going up, nothing was happening. Not that there was a limit on the robot. The robot doesn't have any limit. The robot can open 1 billion, million, I don't even know, I can, infinity number of trades within 1 second. There is no limit on it. So anytime you use your VPS, it doesn't just end where you just install VPS and you pay for subscription. No, the VPS is not going to come on the MT5 and takes that particular, because some people might just want to just migrate all of their robot to the VPS. Some people might just want to migrate all of their settings. That is why it gives you that option. You need to be able to choose. So always go on your VPS. Let me show you what I'm saying. Always go on, let me go here. Let me just share my screen so that always go on your VPS. I can see this is my screen. Anytime you do something, you can see my algo trading is on. If I have to bring in the robot, let's just say I bring in the robot here. Let's just drag the robot here. All right. If I bring this robot in after changing everything here, let's just assume, yeah, this is a demo. Let's just confirm this. The robot is now on this chart. You can see the robot is here. You can see that's the robot here. I'm not seeing the color because I didn't change and put it on black. Now, this robot is not here on the VPS. The robot is not yet on the VPS. What do I need to do? I need to now minimize this. I go to this. Remember, I always have this tab. I already sent you guys my profile. And my profile already, I have this VPS there. So you just come here. You open your VPS. And when you open your VPS, you come here. You see your VPS will be showing. You can see mine is on auto renewal. So mine renews every month. You can see just mine renew about 2 days ago or so on the 14th. 2 days ago. So you just come here, just choose on all, migrate everything. Even though some people might want to migrate only their expert, just choose on all. You choose on all and you click on migrate. As simple as that. Just choose on all and you click on migrate. And most of the time when you choose here and you click on migrate, see what happens. Automatically your algo trading it stops your algo trading and it goes to red. Meaning it has already migrated everything to the server, and now your MT5 doesn't have, it's telling your MT5 that your MT5 doesn't have any use because it has already migrated everything. So now even if I close my MT5, my internet is slow, there's a latency, my computer is freezing, or my child throws water on my computer, nothing is going to be affected. The robot is going to open the trade when it has to open and close the trade when it has to close that particular trade. So I don't know if I'm clear on that one. Then I think that was the last question.
Yes. Yeah, I think the issue could be the VPN, because what happened was I changed the settings. Okay, so based on what you've just said now, what I should have done was to have also gone to the VPS and then migrate again. Basically, that's what you're saying, right?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
So whenever you make changes to the robot during the process of you actually trading, when you make changes and then you save, you need to go back to the VPS and migrate it again, basically.
That's correct. That's correct.
Okay. And I think that's what I didn't do. So that's probably why.
Perfect.
So it's gonna be the VPS then.
So anytime you do any change, anytime you have changes, always migrate. And before you migrate, make sure your algo trading is on. After migrating, the VPS itself will turn it off. So it will handle it after that.
All right, cool. Okay, all right. Yeah, I mean, so again, I don't want to take too much of your time. I forgot what I was gonna say now, but what was I gonna say? I'll leave it.
No problem. Anytime you can always drop it in P2. You can always anytime in Discord. You know, our session doesn't only end here. Anything we didn't touch, you can always drop it in Discord, and we'll still be able to trace it out. So don't worry. Anytime you remember it, just bring it to Discord. So let's take one other very short question from Ray. Very short question from Ray. And then I can see Tunde's hand and Adelicious hand, Adelitus. I can see their hands up. I don't know if they still have any question or the hand.
Yeah, I have question. Maybe later. I have question.
All right. Ray, let's take your question.
All right, just a quick one. You know what Ray said about the VPS? So when you migrate the VPS, yeah, and let's say we are in the scenario that you are in profit and you wanted to use the auto trade. Sorry, I mean the auto close.
Auto close.
So before you drag the auto close to your chart, you need to click on the algo trade, then go back to the VPS and click on migrate, right? I don't know if I'm right.
That will only happen for mechanical robots, not management robot. You understand? Right. Remember, we have two types of robot. Perps Pro is a mechanical robot, while Godlove Auto Close is a management robot. Godlove Auto Close just comes in to just close the positions. So that one, you don't even need to care about the VPS. The only thing you just need to care is make sure your algo trading is on. You understand? Make sure your algo trading is on, then you bring in your Godlove Auto Close. It will be able to pick up all the settings. It's just that the reason why you use the VPS is so that even if you walk away from your computer or your computer goes off or there's no internet or stuff like that, the robot should still be working. But even at that time, Godlove Auto Close won't have any use again because it must have already closed the trade. It must have already done what it was supposed to do. So in that case, you don't even need the VPS. You don't need the VPS in that particular scenario. You just make sure you put your algo trading. Make sure your algo trading is on green. Then you bring in your Godlove Auto Close. The settings will already be there. You click it, it will just work, and that's it. All right, perfect. So let's take the last question from Tunde. I saw.
Yeah, thank you. It's going to be brief.
TJ's hand up at the point in time, but I can't see TJ again. Maybe somebody already answers TJ's, or somebody already brought up TJ's question. Maybe that's why. But anyway, let's take the last question from Tunde.
Okay, my question is going to be very brief, though.
All right.
I observed that because I belong to some other Discord group, that there's a need for a subgroup or subcategory in our Patreon, in our Discord, so that there should be a section where there should be chart analysis. I don't know if our mentor can introduce that. I mean, using your method of a sniper, supply, and support and resistance, you can get a subgroup where you can be teaching us about this chart analysis. I know you are a very busy man, maybe twice a week or 3 times a week, and just put some chart there and give us explanation about how you do your support and resistance and this and that. And that will really help a lot of us.
All right, perfect.
It's just a request if you have the time to do that.
All right,
perfect. Various charts or even group our members who can even come up with some other charts too, using your own technique.
All right.
Yeah.
Perfect. I understand what you say. It makes a lot of sense. And I think somebody has already requested that again. I think it was Belinda. She also suggested that they could have like a segregated group for maybe other. But now, the reason why I won't recommend that, but I'm going to bring a solution to that. I'm going to bring a solution to what you just said. But I won't recommend any segregation, all right? Because remember, the reason why I have my private community is I already understand that these fingers will never be the same, and these fingers are not the same, and they will never be the same. In the group, we have advanced people. We have people who are already advanced, and we have people who are still beginners. And those people who are still beginners are learning from you. Those people who are still even starting, they are learning from us. So if we start segregating and having different groups, even though we are already at advanced level, it's going to be a big disadvantage. It's going to be a big disadvantage to people who are just starting. That is why I don't recommend the idea of segregating the group at this point in time. But coming to sharing ideas, remember, I'm still the one who I used to allow people to send. I used to allow people to send screenshots and stuff like that. But when it comes to trading, sometimes analysis and trade execution becomes subjective, in the sense that you can do your trade and you see that, okay, you can do your trade and everything in your guts is telling you to buy. And you can do your analysis and everything in your guts is telling you to buy. Ray do his own analysis and everything in his guts is telling him to sell. It happens in Forex. You press buy, great press buy, I press sell. That means he takes what his analysis is telling him, I take what my analysis is telling me, and at the end of the day, we'll still make money. You see, it happens in Forex. So it will just depend on how long I plan to stay on that trade. It will depend on how long I even plan. It will depend on my own management skill. So we can take the same currency pair, gold. Let's just say Great Britain Pound USD. We do our analysis. You press buy, I press sell. At the end of the day, or at the end, by the time we're closing that trade, everybody comes out with a profit. It's very, very possible in Forex. It all narrows down to the reasons for you getting into that trade. It all narrows down to your plan on how. It's like you went to war, you already have an exit strategy to say, no, if I see that this war, if I see that I'm not winning this war, this is my exit strategy. It depends on your exit strategy. It depends on your target. So everything comes into that particular trade before you can finally say, okay, I'm done with this trade, I've closed this trade. That is why when it comes to Forex trading, sometimes trade analysis and execution becomes very subjective, in the sense that sometimes when I used to allow it for people to just send screenshots, send charts, it used to confuse a lot of people. You understand? It used to confuse a lot of people. Maybe somebody has been spending days coming up with this analysis, trying to do something. Then you just say, okay, somebody will pump in another chart saying, okay, I just saw this market can be going from year to year to year. Maybe that person is an advanced person, and that beginner person will think maybe he has done everything on this earth which was instead wrong, of which maybe he can be correct. So it was causing a lot of confusion. So I said, no, at this point in time, if I see something, if I observe something that I want to share with my community, then obviously I'll bring it to the community and we discuss about it. But to then, you guys should avoid, that's what I say. I said to them, you guys should avoid bringing in chat into the group, because it causes a lot of confusions, and it also even intimidates people who are just even starting. It intimidates a lot of people who are just even still starting in Forex. But at the same point in time, since many people have come up with this idea, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a day. We're going to have a day per week, where in that day, if you are coming to the Discord community, just know that you're coming. If you're going to be seeing, you're going to see chat, you're going to see analysis. So that day, we're going to call it our chatting day. I remember when we used to have other like trading rooms. In that room, we used to have something we used to call chatting day. In that chatting, I mean chat, not discussing, but chat, CHATR. So chatting day. On chatting day, that is where I myself, I'll come into the group, bring in some analysis, or how I analyze and get my snapper support and resistance. I send it into the group, and the group will be open for the whole of that entire day for any person to bring in any charts, any analysis. Maybe you think the market can be going from this particular. It doesn't. There's no effect if I can see what Ray is thinking, if I can see what Elvis is thinking, if I can see what Landry is thinking. No, there is no problem in that. But at least we'll be able to know that, okay, you should also have a filter. You should also have a filter at the back of your mind to know what you take in, to know what you take in and what you don't take in. So that is it. So we're gonna have a day. We're gonna have a day. I think I'm gonna throw this to the floor. I'm gonna throw this to the floor to get your idea. But we're gonna vote and have a day that we call our chatting day. On that day, that's where we share all the charts. I'll come to the group. I'll be able to show you guys how I analyze and get my snapper support and resistance. Although I already have videos, many videos on the course on how to draw support and resistance effectively. But I'll still come for us to do it practically, and the floor will still be open for anyone to do any analysis or bring in any chart. Anything beside that day, the room won't be open again, or the group won't be open again for more charts to be coming in, so that people can do their own individual and subjective analysis. So I don't know what you guys think.
Perfect.
Yeah, thank you so much. That will work. Yeah, thank you.
Perfect, perfect. So TJ, I don't know if you can ask your question. I don't want us to close without me getting your question. So try to make your question as brief as possible so that I don't leave you hanging.
Yeah, it's just a quick one, because my question has already been touched on in terms of backtesting and with different time frames, which Ray has already talked about, and you have already explained everything about it. Because I don't know if you know, myself and Ray, we are not far from each other, so we tend to have Zoom calls, and we tried backtesting together, and that's how we figured out how different analysis works on different time frames, where you can blow your account on a lower time frame and make profit on a higher time frame with the same analysis. Anyway, so that's okay. A quick one that I want to say for everybody: there was a little mistake that I made, which made me blow one of my accounts. I did my analysis, yeah, and that day my analysis was a bearish analysis, yeah. So I was meant to do a sell. It was a sell. For some reason, I forgot to change the parameter on the.
You forgot to change the sell.
Exactly. So I pressed start. Immediately, my account just blown. Well, and I just started to feel. I said, "What happened?" So I went back and I just realized that instead of me to change from buy to sell, I didn't change. So I just clicked start, and the whole thing just went the opposite way. So it's an easy mistake to make. I just want people to be wary of the analysis, to make sure that if you're doing a sell, make sure you change your parameter to sell and don't leave it at buy, or else you blow your account. So that's it from me.
That's true. That's true. Because TJ, I myself have suffered from that thing many times. Remember, the robot doesn't know what you're thinking. The robot doesn't, because sometimes I have suffered from that. I mean, even recently, even on my live account, I have suffered for that, because sometimes I'll do my analysis. I'll know that, okay, there's a high probability that the market is going to be selling from this level. I'll just go on my robot, change everything, do all the settings, and I click on OK. I sit and I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting, and I see maybe after 30 minutes, I see the robot start buying. I'll be like, what is happening? When I go back to the robot, I'll be able to discover to see that even though I was thinking in my brain that I want to sell, on the robot, the default, remember the default on the robot is buy. So you need to
buy, exactly.
Yes, you need to switch. So before I'll now need to go back again, close all the positions, and remember, this is what used to happen. Even sometimes, when I go back and I manually close all the positions, all of those positions are still on the VPS. You see, that is the problem. So to be able to recover everything and start back the right way, when you close all the positions, you make sure you put the algo trading back on, you close all the positions. Then I'm just going to show you, because this is something that happens all the time. Let me show you this. Let me just say, because actually the robot was on, I think I put it here and it's still there. It's still on Rebooting Pound. Yes, I still have the robot here. And you can see it's kind of like, it's kind of blurry here because we already migrated it to the VPS. So let's just put algo trading back on. And since algo trading is back on, you can see now it's kind of blue. So let's just assume we made a mistake, and instead of pressing buy, we went and press sell, right? Instead of pressing buy, you can see the robot hasn't taken any trade because this is a daily time frame. So this robot is just going to be there. It's just going to be here forever without taking any trade, because remember, it's time frame based. That's why there's no trade as of now. Good. So let's just assume we make a mistake and we want to be able to cancel everything and start from square one. If I just come, let me just go on Control T, and I open here and I close all the trade manually, or I bring in even auto close and close everything. Those trades are not closed. The whole system is still on my MT5. As soon as you walk away, the robot will start making. Even if I come here and I click here, because this is where you can easily remove the robot from your computer. You just come here where you see this gradation cap. You just click on it and you go down to remove. It will remove the robot automatically. But remember, it has removed the robot from your computer, but in the cloud, the robot is still in the cloud. Does it make sense?
Yes, it does.
Yes. So the robot has been removed because you click here, you go on remove, you remove the robot. It has been removed from your computer, from your physical computer, but the whole settings and everything the same way with that buy setting is still in the cloud. Everything is still in the cloud. So as soon as you remove it from here, you immediately just minimize this. Immediately you open your VPS and you click on migrate. Boom. So that as soon as you click on migrate, it will just migrate now. And the new migration, you can see last migration, there is no currency. The only currency pair shown here is this one, which the robot has already been removed from it. So as soon as you just delete everything, as soon as you close all those trades, you just immediately open your VPS, come here and you click on migrate. When it migrates now, the VPS will be able to see that that particular currency pair doesn't have again any particular robot. So now they will assume the chart is as it is from the beginning. But if you just close, you just do everything, you come here, you remove your robot, and you say, okay, I've already removed everything. Move away from your computer. The next second you see there will still be trades opening. There will still be trades opening because the same robot, even though it's not more on your physical computer, that robot is still in the cloud. So as soon as you do that, make sure you delete it on your computer. You go on your cloud, you go on your server, on your VPS, you upgrade everything before now you bring in the robot again and you put the new settings.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you very much.
Perfect. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Chris, I don't know if we're going to be able to take your question today, but we are already almost, I wanted it to be 1 hour. We've already touched again. We're going to 2 hours and we have to actually call it here because I have something urgent I need to do after this. So we need to call it here. Chris, please just drop your question. You can send me a DM on Discord, or you can drop it in a group. And as soon as I just in a couple of minutes or maybe later in the night, I'll dash back to the Discord community to be able to check and answer it out. I wish I could answer, but we have to call it a day at this point in time. So Chris, please just drop your question in Discord, and trust me, no question is left unanswered there. I'll be able to come back and answer the question. So thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Thank you guys so much for scheduling time from your busy schedule to be here today. We're going to be able to see, remember our session doesn't only end here. We are always active in Discord. If you have any problem, any question, always drop it in Discord. And no matter how busy I am, if you don't schedule time for something, you will never have time for that thing. So no matter how busy I am, I always schedule time to come back to my Discord, to come back and see if any person is having any question that requires my attention. So any question you have, our session doesn't only end here. Any question you have, you can always drop it in Discord, and I'll always dash in Discord from time to time to answer those questions. Then from next week, if obviously we used to have our sessions 2 times a month. So if we're gonna have another session next week, then I'll let you guys know. But if it's gonna be a week after next, then I'll obviously let you guys know. But till then, we're still gonna be connected on Discord as if nothing has happened. So thank you guys so much for watching. Have a nice morning, nice evening, nice night, wherever you are. Make sure you enjoy your day, and I'll see you guys in Discord. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot. Thank you, guys.